Hello, and welcome back for another episode of Patriotic Housewife. I hope you guys are all doing well on this Tuesday. So, yesterday in the Spencer and Monique Tepe case, Michael McKee had an extradition hearing in Illinois, and we are going to go over that along with some new information that is slowly starting to come out. I think family and friends are starting to speak and just certain things surrounding this case. Also, some things that have changed with court documents from the police. So let's just watch a couple minutes of this hearing first, and then we will dive into some other stuff.
Walking into an Illinois courtroom cuffed in a jail jumpsuit, now accused of a horrific crime. A divorced ex-husband who allegedly planned, plotted, and killed his ex-wife and her husband with children in the home. Michael McKee allegedly drove more than 6 hours to the home of Spencer and Monique Tepe and shot them dead in the middle of the night on December 30th.
Your name, sir, for the record? Michael McKee.
Not only do we have the new courtroom video of McKee appearing today, we also have documents that shed light on his failed marriage and what police say locked them in on him as their suspect. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
So there you can see the images, obviously, of, his mugshot. We seen him in the courtroom. And obviously that video is much longer, but I figured we would just do like a little snippet of it. So obviously he was arrested in Illinois. He has to be extradited back to Ohio, where the murders obviously took place. So the hearing is really something where he can actually try to fight that, but it's the inevitable. So typically people will just waive that and allow it for it to happen. If they don't, it's my understanding that people do that just to cause delay, to make things difficult, or delay for whatever reason. So yesterday, Michael McKee appeared in court for the first time. It was the extradition hearing, as I said, for him to be transferred from from Illinois to Ohio. It was only like a 5-minute long hearing, very quick, very brief. There was not much to go over, obviously. He wasn't any emotional at all when he was entering the courtroom, never showed emotion throughout the entire time he was in the courtroom. He seemed very calm when he spoke his name. That was the only thing that he said. He entered the courtroom, as you saw, in an orange jumpsuit. His hands were shackled. He did waive his extradition to Ohio. So basically, he won't be fighting the extradition. Like I said, it's the inevitable. They're going to get that anyway. So there's really no point to fighting that. His attorney that was there, I don't know if that's going to be his attorney throughout the trial, but she did assert his right to counsel and his right to remain silent, and basically stated he's more than likely going to be pleading not guilty. And it seems clear that he's probably going to try to fight the charges. He was originally charged with 2 counts of murder, but that was changed to aggravated murder. So basically, when you get the aggravated murder charge, it requires that you had some premeditated plan. There's premeditation involved. It's interesting, and it raises a lot of questions with what did police find to be able to prove the premeditation, whether that's like a plan that he wrote out or something in his phone. Maybe, he has some kind of electric car where, like Tesla, it'll say where he was, and so on and so forth. We know that there was a car allegedly that tied him to that area. Whether that was a rental car or his car, we don't know. So as far as we know, the car was one of the main things connecting him. That grainy black and white footage where someone is walking with a weird gait at 2-3 in the morning, which is around the time that this happened. So it'll be interesting to see as things come out, and as we have another hearing once he's extradited to Ohio, that they say that can take days. Sometimes it's fast. Ohio and Illinois are not far apart. So we will see what happens there. There's a lot of rumors swirling around his alibi as well, that his alibi that he gave did not hold up well. And so that also led to the arrest. So I'm curious, like, what his alibi was that obviously had holes in it. Next question that a lot of people are talking about is, what do we know about Michael McKee? He was a vascular surgeon in Rockford, Illinois. He lived in a very nice, expensive condo in Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park is I'm from Chicago, very busy, heavily trafficked area. I have stayed in Lincoln Park, and it's where I was, right across from the zoo. So just high traffic area, expensive area, very sought out area. Obviously now Chicago has slowly, been changing. But when I lived there, it was a very sought out area, very calm, very fun, classy. It was nice. So, a little bit of background on him. He is an Ohio native. He went to Ohio State. That's where he went to college. He graduated in 2014. That is where he met Monique. They got married in 2015. We know that shortly after that, they were divorced in 2017. They had no children together. After graduating, he did do a residency in Oak Grove, Virginia, where he and Monique lived together. He holds medical licenses, sorry guys, in both California and Illinois. Supposedly he has a really nice place or had a nice place in California as well. There's a lot of assets there, supposedly. In the divorce documents, it showed the reason for the divorce was they were incompatible, and shows that during the divorce, I'm sorry, not shows, but it's being discussed and rumored that during the divorce, she was living in Ohio with her parents. Michael was given the home in Virginia. There has been a lot of chatter saying that she was struggling in her marriage with him. Obviously, they ended up divorced. So there was some kind of struggle there. We don't know whether or not she was in fear for her life or in fear of him. It's being talked about. And as the divorce process was going, that her parents had took her in, helped her financially to be able to get out of Virginia back to Ohio and get back on her feet. The divorce between the two is being reported that it was amicable. So I find that to be interesting. Spencer and Monique married in 2020, and Spencer and Monique met online. From what we hear, they built a beautiful life together. He was a successful dentist. She had a background in early childhood education from Ohio State. Later, she became a stay-at-home mom when they had their 2 children. And people really just, story after story, that they were life of the party, all around happy, very pleasant people. So it's just all around sad. You have 2 children that are now without their parents. They're so young. There are rumors that they were locked in the bedroom so that they couldn't come out during this time. We'll see how true that is. Like I said, this is all rumors and speculation right now, but there is starting to be more chit chat out there about certain things. One of the big questions that a lot of us, I think, have is, how did he get into the house? Because there was no signs of forced entry. So that's interesting. Maybe Monique recognized him. He knocked at the door and she let him in, or there was a door left unlocked. I don't know if you guys have seen like the house, but we'll do like a big deep dive into this as it goes. There was 2 sets of doors in the front of the house, 1 in the back. Maybe they forgot to lock 1 set of doors. That happens. I think we've all done that. But it's very unclear, if they had any contact prior to the murder. So if he was stalking Monique, if he was calling and harassing her, we haven't really heard anything about that. Like I said, there is a little bit of chit chat, but I haven't heard anything major on that portion. WLS News in Chicago spoke with a neighbor of Michael McKee, and she quoted, "I sat with this man. I talked with him at the pool, barbecuing about what a beautiful day it is. And then he turns out to be a killer." It's kind of shocking. You don't even know when you're talking to a serial killer. And like I said, this is from a Lincoln Park neighbor. I cannot pronounce her name, Jira Lind Koleric. So yeah, there's still a lot of big questions that remain. Why did McKee kill Spencer and Monique on December 30th in the middle of the night? Why now? They've been divorced since 2017. If there hasn't been any prior contact did he just stew for the last like 7 years? Like what's going on? Unlikely. Obviously happening around the holidays. Was he depressed and upset? Was there substance abuse and he just, stewed on the fact that she had this happy life and he was alone? And there's also rumors that he had a very successful background, a very great football career, and he did a lot of different things at a very high level. And so, with that, what's being discussed is when you do something at such a high level all the time, you almost have this mentality of like you should be rewarded because you've done everything right. You've been smart, you've gone to school, all these things. And maybe it was like, I'm by myself. I don't deserve to be by myself. Here she is living the dream. And he felt owed something. Who knows? Sorry, guys, my phone went off. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna find out, but I don't know. It's very interesting. Well, like I said, we'll see about the substance abuse. I'll be interested to see that. I'm interested to hear about whether there was any prior contact to this. And, was Monique, you hear about in a lot of these situations where people don't tell their family members about somebody harassing them. They're embarrassed or they think it's going to go away. So they just don't bring it up. And maybe that is also why the coworkers, because he was punctual after an hour, they went to his house, and why, you had several 911 calls. Maybe Spencer divulged something was going on to the coworkers in case, Michael McKee would ever show up at the office, let's say. Well, there were patients there. We just don't know. It's all like kind of speculation right now. I know we'll get more answers, obviously, as the investigation continues and as things are released. And the big question, how did he get into the house? Big question there. And I don't know. We will see what happens. When he gets to Ohio, I will keep you guys updated as soon as we hear more. And if there is another hearing, as always, all of these episodes are just going to be like same title basically almost, and then it'll just say episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will do the same thing for the trial so that everything just stays under that one case playlist, just so you guys know, because now we're starting to really cover some of the true crime stuff. So just so you guys know how it's going to be organized. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did like the video, if you like true crime, if you just like the channel, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.